Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
And the ball is loose. Third and 4.
I'm just saying. Anyway, let's go number 4. Hey, I'm gonna start with you, man. Who you had number 4 on the running back conversation?
Oh man, you're not gonna like this, Sonny, because we're starting some controversy early.
Okay.
And I went back and forth in my head between these two teams. And you guys know I take rookies into account, right? So I'm looking at this from all angles. And unfortunately, Sonny's not gonna like this, and the Ravens Nation is not gonna like this. I'm actually gonna rank the Ravens 4th. And this is a division that has, talented running backs. You're talking about Najee Harris. You're talking about J.K. Dobbins. I love Gus Edwards personally. But when I looked at the Ravens, the thing that stuck out to me is which one of these guys is a number one back. It's hard to say because Dobbins is small. He's a small guy that might not be able to handle that whole load. They're both two great backs. But if you were to take them and put them on other teams in the NFL, could you definitively say that they would be starters? And that's where I was looking like these guys look like an amazing committee together. They're a great 1-2 punch, outside of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I think that they're the second best 1-2 punch in the division by far. You looked at what they did last year, each with 800 yards, each amassing some touchdowns. The only thing is the weird part was when I put in the filter for 50% of the snaps, neither guy had that. And it was kind of weird. Obviously, they were in a 3-headed backfield last year with Mark Ingram. These two guys clearly were the best of that tandem. But when you have a guy like Todd Gurley visiting to potentially sign with your team, that means that you don't feel like you have a guy. I think that they have a running back by committee tandem, but I don't think that they have that guy that really I could put above a Joe Mixon, that I could put above a Nick Chubb, that I could put above a Najee Harris. And that is why I went with the Ravens at 4.
Let me refute something here, and then I'm going to let it go because we're going to keep going, and I don't want to get stuck at 4th. What I'll say is you're putting at 4th the team that led the league in rushing, right?
Yes.
It wasn't like one player was 4,000 yards and the other two were just scraps. And you did that over a rookie.
But you have Lamar Jackson. And this is the thing.
I understand.
You have Lamar Jackson, and you can do an option, whether it's I'm going to go with Gus Edwards or I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson. 90% of the time, people are going to go with Lamar Jackson. So because of that, it's going to – and I learned this against Gus Edwards because we were the first ones that Lamar took off on where he did the whole spin. That is something that defenses have to account for. Now, if you have a pocket quarterback and you have someone given that option, they're going to concentrate completely on that running back.
So you're basically
Lamar does help the Ravens.
You're penalizing them.
And you have to take into account Lamar Jackson's running. Yeah. So you got to take those rushing yards out of there.
Well, if we take those two, if we take Lamar Jackson's yards, and again, I'm going to move on from this. If you take those two, the Lamar Jackson's older yards, put Lamar Jackson zeros, my two guys have more yards than the Bengals.
Because Joe Mixon got hurt after 6 games.
But doesn't matter. And
it does matter.
Okay, let me just take Joe. Let me just take Joe Mixon away for a moment, right? Okay. You're saying that those two guys are not better than a rookie that hasn't taken a snap.
Najee Harris, no, I cannot say that. Najee Harris was a first-round running back. He had a production score of 99. There's a lot to like about Najee Harris. And that's what it really comes down to. Yes, I'm projecting, but at the end of the day, Najee Harris is 6'1", 232 pounds. Aaron Dobbins is 5'10", 209. It's not a comparison. I had Gio for years. Gio is a great running back. He's not a number one running back. You can't straight up depend on J.K. Dobbins to carry the full load.